ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of LandO's Logic, and today I have myself a very special guest. I've got Afro joining me now from the Minnesota ROKKR, and I'll be honest, buddy, it's kind of weird. It's going to take me a little while to get used to like saying your name now under the ROKKR banner. Does it feel like a tad strange to you, the fact that you're now under Minnesota rather than representing the Ravens?
Oh no, 100% it does. It's a bit weird. Obviously, coming from like a UK background, like London, obviously. I mean, I think it's a lot of players dream like just to play for London, just because obviously it's the one UK the franchise. Yeah, it is a bit weird. Obviously now I'm in Minnesota, but honestly, I think it's for the better, and I think honestly I just can't wait for the season to start.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Well, I want to ask you, because I know we're going to talk a lot about the Minnesota ROKKR today, but what is one thing that you're going to miss most being part of the London franchise?
One thing I'm gonna miss. One thing I'm gonna miss about London. I have to think about this one. It doesn't come to mind straight away.
So there's a lot. I'm sure there's a lot.
No, there actually is. One of the things I will say in London, obviously, is just being under the UK franchise. You know, I think having a heavy UK fan base is obviously big. And honestly, they're ride or die. They're ride or die. So that's one thing I'm gonna miss. But obviously, Minnesota ROKKR might have fans like that, and I think they do, to be honest, from what I've seen. So, yeah. Obviously, I want to miss Dom. You know what I mean? He's one of the coaches over there. A great guy. I miss Byron. I miss all the players over there. Yeah. It's weird. It's a weird feeling, but you know what I mean? It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet.
Bittersweet, 100%. I saw that Dom just got like confirmed, I think, by London Royal Ravens that he's going to be back next year.
Yep. Which
I'm sure is great. I feel like he's somebody that doesn't get a lot of credit. I feel like a lot of coaches specifically, but you know, I've heard a lot of players. I know like Trey's talked about him a lot, how he really does a lot behind the scenes.
100%. Yeah, Dom doesn't get enough credit at all. He's one of the smartest people I know, and I hope he gets more recognition this year.
Definitely, man. Well, one thing that I want to ask you about is what has this offseason been like for you? Like, I've seen a little bit on social media. It looks like you're playing the piano. It sounds like you're on the fitness grind right now. You've been staying busy?
Yeah. No, I have. This offseason, honestly, for me, has mainly just been spending time with family. And then obviously getting a little bit healthier. But honestly, this last weekend has not been good. A lot of kebabs, a lot of... yeah. I went out this weekend with a few of my friends into town, so we're enjoying ourselves a little bit, but yeah, for me it's just like I said, just spending time with friends and family, and you know, just kind of getting back to just getting the mental right before I go out there again.
I know one thing too, like speaking of social media, that you were, I guess, during the off season involved with a lot was obviously your transfer to Minnesota, but it was also like this weird, I feel like I haven't got full like clarity on what exactly the situation was with like the Arcides tweet. And he was talking about how, like, does that make any sense to you at all? Like, is there any information, a more in-depth story there?
I don't think it's really that in-depth. I didn't like go out my way to message Arcides and say, oh, you know, you've been dropped. Like, that's just not the case at all. Not even. I just heard there was a few rumors going on, and there was a potential like Arcides opening. So yeah, I wanted to just see what Arcides was doing. So I went on my way just to kind of speak to him. And that's how we found out. Didn't mean it like that. I just wanted to see if he was available. Just to obviously, you know, just to widen the options open and see what I can actually get for next year. So that was the plan for the Arcides thing. Yeah, I didn't actually go over to him and just say, yeah, you've been dropped. You know what I mean? Like, definitely got like that.
So full clarity. We got the story now. We got the story, which is important because, like I said, it was just such a interesting situation at the time. But I want to talk about, right, you go from the Royal Ravens now, or rather you join the team toward the end of Cold War. You're on the roster throughout the entire time of Vanguard. Now you find yourself right on the Minnesota ROKKR with Attach, with Cammy, and now with Bance, a new start, a refreshing start, if you will. How did that happen, right? How did this whole thing go down from your perspective?
My perspective. So going into the off season, obviously you speak to your agent, you kind of just like tell him what you want and tell him like, just you know who you have your eyes on. And one of the players that I wanted to 100% play with was Cammy. So I messaged him and kind of just got it sorted, just saying like, I do want to play with him. But then obviously the thing with Optic happened, so I was like, oh no, no, this is not good. So obviously it's a bit of a shock, but that's how it kind of started. Then obviously when he didn't go in Optic, obviously for him, I feel like obviously a bit bad for him. You know what I mean? It's you want to join Optic, you're gonna, you know what I mean, you have to join Optic, right?
Sure.
Obviously I felt a little bit sorry for him, but obviously for me, I was kind of smiling because I got to play with him. So yeah,
It worked out.
It worked
out in your
so
favor.
yeah, that was that. And then obviously Ben, I messaged Ben a bit as well, and he was on board. And honestly, Ben's one of the people I wanted to play with as well. He was huge, and obviously I think he brings a lot of leadership to the team. So that's one of the players I wanted. And obviously Attach, he had one of the best years as like a mania or just as an AR this year, and I think he couldn't fit into the team any better. So that was kind of my thought process going into it. Like everybody in the right like roles they want to be in, everybody's comfortable. You know what I mean? And to me, we've got a vibey team. Like everybody seems happy. Everybody seems like that they want to have fun and want to just get better. So that's kind of how, at least for me, this offseason went for me. Yeah.
Now I know there were some rumors talking about different teams that you could be headed to. I know like Toronto Ultra was tossed out there, but like, why was the ROKKR the one that you decided on? Was it the players? Was it, I know I've heard a lot of people talk about, a lot of players talk about how it's like, what, there's just something about this Minnesota franchise. They get it. They treat the players right. Yeah. What was the primary reason, or maybe the multitude of reasons, why you decided to go with ROKKR?
Oh, there was a few reasons. Obviously, number one for me is obviously the team. I feel like for me, you have to look at the team first, obviously, at the end of the day, you want to win. So that was the first thing. And then obviously, honestly, from all the people I've spoke to about Minnesota, they've always said it's like a great organization and they've only treated them well. So that was definitely another big reason. And honestly, those are the two main reasons, really. The team and obviously how the management and the organization treat their players. So yeah, if you have those two, I feel like you're only going into just great success. So.
Yeah, man, that feels like the boxes are really checked a lot when it comes down to your moves, the reason why you decided to go there, and given the great reputation that I feel like Minnesota ROKKR has and seems to only continue to have. I want to ask you, like, I know it's early, right? You probably only had a few conversations maybe with the players. Like, we've yet to play an official match really on this game. We're just playing the beta. But what do you think, looking ahead, is going to set this ROKKR team apart? Like, Minnesota, this new team will win championships, will reach their potential this season if blank. What do you think that blank may be? What do you think when it comes down to this team, what's going to set this roster apart most?
I just think, honestly, it just comes to being on the same page, just in general. I think a lot of teams can like win a chip, but it's the comms and just get on the same page with each other. I think obviously just being a team in general, just it's not always just about going into scrims and then coming out of it and then going back to your apartments. It's not really like that. You have to be like a team in and out of the game. So I think that would be the one thing we'll probably have to work on a lot. Just obviously we're a new team. We've not all played with each other. I know Cammy and Bance have, but I've not played with Attach. I've not played with Bance and Cammy, but I feel like I'll 100% get on with them. Like I feel like I'm a quite easygoing guy. Like I'll get on with most people. So for me, probably just being in a team in and out of the game. I think that is a big part in winning and just being a team in general. So yeah.
How do you think that Afro personally, right, reaches all the goals that you're setting for yourself in the MW2 season?
Did you say what goals am I setting for myself?
Yeah. How are you going to reach those goals?
How am I going to reach those goals? Literally just put as much time and effort as you can. This season, like I feel like you just can't let it go to waste. Especially for me, I feel like this is the season where I feel like I really need to prove myself. I feel like last year we started off really well, and then towards the end of the season, like a lot of stuff like was out of our control, and I feel like we could have done better, like regardless. But I feel like this year, I feel like we have to 100% put all the effort in, and I feel like this is the year where if like, at least for me, if I don't win anything or I don't do as well as I wanted, then I'm not gonna feel like I'm not going to be in a great mental state. I feel like I really need to do well this season. I feel like this is the season I need to do it. So yeah,
I feel that, man. Well, I'm excited for you. It's going to be a great season ahead. Now, I want to mention this. I like my nicknames. I don't know if you've listened, but I'm somebody who likes to attach some nicknames to a few of our players. I pride myself on trying to, give the players something, a mantra to rock with, like the Alaskan Assassin for Draza, like the King of Copenhagen for Kleenex. Now, I have my list of nicknames here for you coming into this season, and I want you to judge them and see if there's any potential here. All right? The Frode Fiend.
Frode Fiend.
Okay. Yes.
That's
anything there? Okay. Okay. Curly-haired killer. About that one. Okay. That one might take first. That one might take first. All right. What? Okay. If you're like in your zone, if you're like, on, I feel like you have like these moments where you just go on, like, we'll just look at your perspective and it's like, oh, AFRO'S on a 7 kill spree. Like it just happens at one point throughout every series.
I don't know.
What about welcome to the Fro Zone?
That's not too bad. I like that one. I like that one.
And then my favorite. This is my favorite one. The Formidable Force.
That's better. That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Do you have a favorite? Is there one that sticks out?
I like the Frozen one. I like the last one you just did, and the curly egg killer. See, the curly egg killer, I feel like would work on someone like Hugh. No, not me. I feel like I've got.
That's fair.
It's a little curly, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah. That's a good point. You've given an accurate analysis, I think, when it comes down to the nicknames. But we'll see. Maybe a few of them will stick moving into the next season. But I want to mention this too. Like, what victory do you think would feel more sweet this season? Beating the London Royal Ravens or beating the Battle of the North rival Toronto Ultra?
I feel like for Cammy, actually, it's a weird one, actually, because obviously there was a...
You got, like, personal stuff, and you got, like, team stuff. Like, you got a mix there.
It's a weird one, actually. For me, obviously London, just because it's my old team, right? I feel like they're going to go like 120% against me, and I'm going to go 100% against them, regardless. But I don't know. It's a weird one because obviously I was connected to Toronto this season. It's a weird one. It's just a weird one.
It's a mixture. I got you, man. It could be a mixture, or maybe it's a team
that's a hard question.
We're trying to come at it. We're trying to hit from all angles.
Nah, for me it'd probably be London. 100%. It would have to be London. Yeah. Just because my old team, and yeah.
I'm excited for both those matchups. Those are going to be great. Now, we did have the MW2 beta this past weekend. We have another one coming up, or like PC and both, all the platforms are going to be able to play on it. I saw just before this interview that you had posted a wild play in Search Destroy. It was like a 1v6, I think, in a round 11, and then you pulled up the scoreboard for just a moment, and it looked like you had like 25 or 26 kills. What did you make
you
were popping up, man. Like, what did you make of your first time having MW2 in your hands?
Honestly, I think it's gonna be a fun game. I feel like there's obviously a few problems with the game, and obviously we've not actually fully played it like in a competitive scenario yet. So, obviously there's a few concerns, but for the most part, I think it's gonna be a fun game, and I think that's what and obviously for right now the maps actually seem quite good, seem quite simple, not like too much like foliage on the ground where you're just like bumping into everything and you just
and
there's like not too many spots where you think, oh, he could be there, could be there, could be there. Like it seems quite simple right now. So that's a good thing. Yeah. So for me, I enjoyed it quite a bit. For me, I just love COD in general, so I quite enjoy it, like just a lot of the games. But MW2 for me probably will be better than last year. Probably the understatement of the year, but yeah, yeah.
I like that, man. Did you figure out how to slide cancel?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I see. Yeah, well, the slide cancel it's not actually that good. I don't think it's as good as people are saying. The ones where you have to change your settings. I mean, that's just gonna. I personally think it's gonna get patched. Like you have to change your settings in games to actually slide cancel. That just doesn't seem right. But the other one where you have to switch weapons and aim in. That's like if you time it perfectly and you do it like round a wall and you hug the wall, like it's quite good. But other than that, like if you're slide cancel into a gunfight, you're not going to win a gunfight. There's like a 0.5 like a second delay before you can actually shoot. So I don't think it's going to be used as much in this game. This game is very like slow and pre-aimy, so I wouldn't expect people slide cancel to finish. I love jumping. I love jumping.
I feel that too. I'm a big jumper as well. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's just I'm kind of excited about this new mechanic. I'm actually very interested to see like how SMG players like yourself are going to fare. Like you said, in a more what possibly could be ADS heavy or slower type of title. I'm excited to see that. I guess on topic with that, if you could guarantee to have one thing from a competitive perspective, MW2, whether it's great weapon balancing, if it's maps, if it's even mechanics, things like that, or even if it's something really specific like a weapon of some sort or a map remake, what's one thing if you could guarantee to have that MW2 that you would personally like to have that you think would make it better competitively? What would it be?
I think this would be a fan favorite answer, and I'll just be no squad spawns and just standard spawns. But do I see that happening? probably not. I think it's engraved in the game. So, other than squad spawns, I'll say weapon balancing, because right now the M4 and the ARs seem unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like just a bit of balancing. Yeah, weapon balancing other than the spawns. Yeah.
Now, something that slightly, at least for me, did sour the Modern Warfare 2 hype was the CRIMSIX retirement announcement.
Oh, I know.
I personally thought that, like, we were going to see him join a team. I know there were some rumors that were out there, but as somebody who, I'm sure watched him a lot growing up, that watched his, dominant run, I think he played for like at least 10, 11, 12 seasons, whatever it may be. Then to later, not just watch him growing up, but to then later compete against him. What was it like hearing the fact that he's no longer going to be playing anymore?
It's weird because obviously I've been watching COD like competitive since like Black Ops 2, so I've been watching it for quite a while. And obviously he's been winning for how long now? So yeah, it's weird to see him retire. I think he's a big personality to the league. I think personally, I still think he had the passion in him to actually want to play. Like you can see that he wanted to play still. So
yeah,
it's a bit weird that he's still not playing. And like I said, it's a big hit to the league because he's such a big personality, and you can just see the shit, all the stuff he's done, like, regardless of like, just, like I said, he's just a big personality, and I think that the league's gonna miss him. I think we're all gonna miss him, like in that aspect. So yeah, I feel for him, man.
Do you have a favorite CRIMSIX moment that maybe you were that you watched growing up, or maybe that you even experienced playing against him?
Nah,
or even a story, perhaps.
Honestly, my favorite moment of CRIMSIX probably was just this year. Honestly, just the New York entrance with Crim 7 and Crim 6. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
That was great.
That was quite good. That was quite creative. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, yeah, a very creative mind.
That was good. That was such a legendary event. Yeah. Like if for those who weren't there, like to experience what it was like to every series have like these crazy introductions. I tell you what, if it's going to be difficult to like ever have a moment like that happen again, but whoever was there, it felt like you definitely got your money's worth when it came down to tickets and whatnot. But Afro, you're heading into your third pro season. It's technically your second full season. What's one thing that you are looking to try and get better at specifically when it comes down to MW2, the biggest priority for you?
Being more consistent. I feel like last year Vanguard for me wasn't a very consistent year, especially towards the end. I feel like the start was a bit more consistent, but towards the end, yeah, I just didn't feel very consistent. Obviously I was trying, but it just didn't. For some reason, I just felt like I couldn't get on the same pace. Whether that was like a me issue or a team issue, it did like something just didn't feel right. So yeah. If I was comparing that to the Cold War and how I was like, obviously with only the few months I was there, like I felt like I was putting like consistent numbers up like every game, no matter what. But when it comes to Vanguard, yeah, it was weird. Yeah, this year more consistent. And yeah, just like I said, just working as a team. That's like the main two goals, especially for me anyway. Obviously, win a chip. We want to win a chip. Everyone wants to win a chip. So
sure, right. There's a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of things out there. I'm hitting you in the off season, so there's a lot of things that are going on in your mind right now. But I guess one of the first opportunities, I know you've had the chance to address the Minnesota ROKKR fan base before, but here's another opportunity. Anything you want to say to Minnesota fans who are watching this, who are eager to see you represent the team moving into MW2? You
will see a lot of highlight plays and a lot of hopefully a lot of chips. I say a lot of chips, but we'll just say chips. I don't need to get too out there, but you know what I mean. Yeah, we'll win a chip this year. That's what I'm gonna say.
I like it. Short, sweet, to the point. You got what you needed out there. But that is Afro, player for the Minnesota ROKKR. Thanks so much again for joining me, man.
I appreciate it, man. Have a good day.